What's up, everybody? This is Carmine Davis, and you are watching and listening to The Carmine Davis Show. What the fuck is up, bitch? What's been up? So glad y'all are here. Honey, let me tell y'all what's been going on with me. I just released my single, Never Gonna Love Again. It's out everywhere. And the first week has been amazing. Like, I don't want to... I guess because I had such a strategy that lasted like 6 months. Like, I came up with this 6-month strategy, and the fact that we're hitting milestones in a week that I didn't expect to hit in a month is like, whew. But you know, like, what goes up must come down. So I'm trying to withhold my excitement, but I can't. I want to thank you guys so much for embracing me back into music. I want to thank people who, new fans, old fans, all of that, who waited almost 10 years for I'm trying to be nice. It's been 10 years since my last release, but it won't happen again. Okay. I'm making a real effort to release my project, my album at the top of next year. I've gotten that concept down. I know what I want to do now. I'm full circle moment. I understand what this album means to me, and I'm ready to share it with you guys. And from the looks of the first single, which was a palate cleanser, Never Gonna Love Again, was inspired by the old songs, Autograph and Controversy, but kind of like a palate cleanser to get you guys ready for the new album about subject matter, showing you guys that the last 2 records that I put out before, I felt like I had nothing to talk about. You know, I was a kid, I was a baby, so I had not much to talk about. It was referencing old music or concepts that I had heard or that I just came to my head. I wrote both of those records, all 3 of those records, I wrote and produced and co-produced, and I'm just in awe that you guys still have embraced it. Never Gonna Love Again, the sound, the content, and all that was on purpose. It's supposed to actually kind of give people who stayed, if y'all are still out there, who stayed true to me since Autograph and Controversy, it gave people a new introduction without being too abrasive and new, you know, and I sung more into in this record, but still kept it in the pocket. I wanted it to be a karaoke type of sound where it's seemingly it's easy listening, but hard to do with the vocal arrangement and the arrangement of the lyrics and the timing sonically. So I wanted to give people such a record to introduce and get back out there. Something that I felt like was just kind of fun, you know, but also packed a very important message and kind of sharing a window into how I feel now. And I'm focused, and of course I'm gonna love again, you know, but it's like, that's not my focus. I'm never gonna love again. Not the way that I did with these particular people. And the song was about multiple partners. I wrote the song, it's a pandemic project. The next few songs were songs that I wrote in the pandemic. And so this was about someone else, not my recent. People have been asking me about it, and not about a recent partner, but I guess it is about that person. So about all my partnerships that I've dealt with, is kind of like a closing of chapter of who I used to be in those situations where I gave so much, loved so much, with the red flags held high, blinded faith in them. You know, it's a testament, and I hope that sincerity cuts through. I hope people pick up what I'm putting down, and I hope you guys continue to stream it everywhere now. But that's it. I'm so excited. We're almost at 10,000 streams. We're gonna have 10,000 streams in a week. That's a huge, huge, huge deal for an indie artist. I have no major, and I haven't even started promoting it. We haven't even promoted it yet. I posted it, and I've just been sharing it on my story and Twitter and all that, and just how it's apparently getting on people's playlists, and just doing that, and it's kind of like a I told you so to everybody who just didn't understand what I was trying to do with this song, right? I wanted the song to just kind of cut through the middle ground, right? But still pack a punch where it could be something that people would listen to but not want to turn, you know what I'm saying? But play again. And I wanted it to kind of be easy listening, but hard to sing and inviting and interesting. And people did not understand where I was coming from. I fought for this record. I fought for this record for about a year and a half, 2 years. I've been sitting on this record for so long. I've written with people from the Netherlands, Switzerland, Atlanta, California. I've invited writers to help me bring this song to fruition, and nobody understood. Nobody got it. Everybody was wrapped around in circles about this project. Nobody understood. They couldn't wrap their head around it, but you guys do. And thank you to all my friends who believed in me, all my supporters, my fans, the dolls. I love y'all so much. Keep streaming it. Keep streaming it. Let's get it to 100,000. Fuck, 100,000 in a month. Let's do it. Okay, but let's move on to the show. If you're new to the show, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do this for my health. 5-star, because I am a 5-star bitch. Okay, let's keep this show climbing as we do. And I want to start the show by talking about something that we talked about last week. We talked about Nicki Minaj and Lotto and her. But I felt like there was a huge thing that was missing from what Nicki was trying to say. And I want to shed light on that a little bit more. From LovelySky.com, Nicki Minaj still plans to attend the 2023 Grammys despite the Super Freaky Girl controversy. Earlier this week, Nicki Minaj spoke out against the Recording Academy for moving her hit Super Freaky Girl out of the Grammys category, the Grammys rap category, and placing it into the pop one. Earlier this month, Nicki Minaj shared some thoughts online after it was revealed that her #1 single, Super Freaky Girl, wouldn't be considered for nomination in the rap categories, but rather in the pop categories. Despite her shot, Minaj revealed to E! News that she's still looking forward to the next year's ceremony. When asked if she would attend the Grammys if she were nominated, Minaj said, "Yeah, why not? I'm not a coward. I feel like I'm in a really good space, and therefore, why not?" She continued, "Why not put on a beautiful dress and cover my big boobs and show off my big old butt? Why not go and flaunt it?" Upon receiving the news that Super Freaky Girl would be considered in the pop category, she took to Twitter insisting that she wasn't upset, but that it would be only unfair if Lotto's Big Energy was also moved in the pop categories. The two rappers engaged in a heated exchange of words via Twitter. However, Minaj insists that she is not angry with the Recording Academy, at least. "I think sometimes people think that I'm more angry than I am," she said. "I could be heated about something right now for this second, and 5 minutes from now, I'll forget about it. And I forget about what I just spoke about." The 2023 Grammy nominations are set to be announced on November the 15th. So again, all of this is going on, and we don't even know if this girl is nominated, right? But we do know that she is ineligible. Thank you. Ineligible to be nominated for the rap categories. So with all of that being said, I feel like I hate that Lotto incident happened. I hate that she engaged in that manner because I felt like people missed a big valid point. And I feel like they often miss a lot of what Nicki is screaming about. You get what I'm saying? They just see her screaming like they do with Black women anyway. They just see the finger pointing and the eye rolling and the screaming and back and forth, but they forget that there is something going on here and that it's valid. What she was saying is not invalid. It was just the way she went about it made it seem like there was something else going on, right? Or that she was just bitter. I think that she is bitter, but I think it's warranted. I felt like Nicki does feel like she does get a bad rap. I feel like she is mistreated because she is the pioneer, or sure, things that she might have done in the past when she was first starting, they're still not giving her fair treatment, her fair just due of the the doors that she kicked in, and these girls are walking in, but they're walking in and receiving all the accolades. They're receiving all of the notoriety and all those things. But when this person who kicked the door down for you, her feet hurt, you know, her arm hurts. Hey, help me out here. You know, you bitches are picking up awards and all that you know you don't deserve before I do. Especially when we're doing work that is extremely eerily similar, right? And I have not received my just due from them. You guys can sit online and talk about how when it's convenient for you, talk about how I've influenced you, but when it's time to protect our heroes, which we don't do, protect and speak up for our high performers, we don't, which is something that I feel like we can relate to even in the corporate America or your job, right? Let's say that you are working at a fast food joint, right? Hold on. Sorry. Let's say you're working at a fast food joint, right? And there was somebody who put out the fries faster, who dropped the burgers quicker, who put out and kept those ticket numbers low, right? We, as a people, and I talk about this a lot on the show, we do tend to shade our Nicole Scherzangers or our lead Beyonces. We tend to tear down our leaders because we can't relate to them. We tend to look at them and snarl at them because they are high performers. I have always felt that way as a high performer. You know, people don't know how hard it is to work for things that you want, to really put down your craft and put yourself out there, and to also the right side, or is it the left side? The left side of your brain is the creative, right? And the right side is the critical, right? But to be able to battle back and forth and try to come up with strategies, to be a high performer, to do things, to think, people tend to not support you the way that they should, like they would with people who they find more relatable. And when you are speaking out about, hey, things are ailing me, I don't like my treatment, or this hurts, people tend not to sympathize with you because you're this giant. Like, oh, who gives a fuck? You're bitter, you're mad, you know, you're in the house on the hill. Who gives a fuck how you feel? These girls are trying to come up, right? But at the same time, we need to also remember that those girls, the same thing that I felt like I said last week with Nicki Minaj and Lil Kim, it's only a matter of time before Lotto is in Nicki's shoes, hopefully, if she's lucky. And she will see what Nicki was trying to say. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? Leave a comment below if you feel like Nicki might have gone too far, or if you think that Nicki was valid, her argument was valid. We went to Twitter last week. That was a Twitter poll of last week. We talked about the situation, and I wanted to choose my words carefully because I don't want, like I say all the time, this show is pro-black, it's pro-gay, and it's pro-woman, right? And from previous comments, I feel like Nicki Minaj is all three, right? So I want to be mindful about how we attack her, or because I mean, I'm gonna be real, like I'll attack a bitch, but how we deal with this. So I asked you guys on Twitter, do you think Nicki Minaj needs a timeout or just a Twitter break? 76% of you guys said that it's time for her to put the phone down, and I'm glad that we are almost all on one page about that, because I don't think that I do feel like Nicki needs to go see a therapist. I hope she is. I don't know anything about her mental work or what she's doing. But I do want Nicki to take her mental health and her heart work seriously. The soul is very tender, especially someone who's like Nicki. You know, she seems, I don't know anything about her, but I feel like she's a very sensitive person. And I feel like she needs to be mindful about, as well as myself, about how we express ourselves. Because to other people, you know, they think that we are being ugly or that we're being mean. But in reality, we're just expressing ourselves. We're just calling everything is how we see it. And sometimes when we're saying things and we're crying out, the only person who can soothe us is us. And if we're not being our big mamas or our big daddies for ourselves, then nobody will be. And we tend to drive ourselves crazy. So prayers for Nicki. I want you to put that motherfucking phone down. And prayers for Lotto. I feel like that was a lot. But I do feel like the exchange helped Lotto more than it hurt her. So I'm sure she'll be fine. And we'll find out November the 15th when those... Yeah, the 15th when those Grammy Award nominations, if either one of these bitches are even nominated. So we'll find out, but we're going to keep it moving. I'm hungry. I got to go. So we're going to move on to the second hot topic. Before we do, guys, make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. Keep up to date. Stop being weird. Stop tuning in. There's thousands of y'all tuning in, but I only had 200 subscribers. So I know y'all are just hate withholding, right? Spread the motherfucking legs, bitch. Give me some. You know what I mean? Follow me. Stop playing, okay? The second is from LovelyScott.com. Chance the Rapper's wife addresses his like of an explicit tweet. Y'all really be reaching. Okay, Chance the Rapper's wife has come to his defense. On Friday, October the 21st, days after the Chicago native began trending on Twitter after multiple users purportedly discovered his interaction with explicit transsexual content, Kristen shared a video via her own personal social media addressing fan speculations. In the short clip, she accuses users of instigating the situation and goes on to explain how something like this could have happened by accident and is nothing more than a misunderstanding. Y'all really be reaching, Kristen Coralie Bennett says in the video while laughing. He's never going to address this, but all I have to say is we were at an event all night last night, not last night, the night before last until late. We were celebrating, so sometimes shit happens on accident. What? Kristen quickly ended the video, but not before issuing one last scathing remark to social media users, flooding her accounts with negative comments about the post. So all y'all little trolls coming to my page that are getting blocked, y'all can go to hell, she says. I'm going to put the video here.
Y'all really be reaching. And he's never going to address this, but all I have to say is we were literally at an event all night last night. Not last night, the night before last. Until late. We were celebrating. So sometimes shit is on accident. So, all y'all little trolls coming to my page that are getting blocked, y'all can go to hell.
As Kirsten's video began circulating and reported on apps such as Instagram, multiple users began suggesting Chance the Rapper engage with the content on purpose, despite her claims. In a post shared by the Shade Room on IG, user Bad Luck 354 pointed out several factors that made the situation even more complicated, alleging this wasn't the first time the No Problems lyricist had liked similar content. Wait, so he accidentally liked 7 different LGBTQ pluses things on different days, all while at an event with his wife the other night. Wow. He's actually more talented than any of us could imagine, they wrote. While Chance the Rapper has not publicly addressed whether or not he actually liked the sexually explicit content, it appears the likes have been purged from his Twitter profile. However, multiple screenshots of the X-rated post and his likes feed from October 20th are still present on the platform. Okay. I'm going to try to link it. You know, Twitter is funny. They're going to remove it. But I'm going to look at it and kind of explain what I'm seeing. Okay. It looks like this is a trans person. Like, it looks like a Twitter dedicated to trans Asians. Porn. So, there's that. Someone said under the tweet, I'm starting to think these dudes are getting hacked. The same thing happened to Doc Rivers and others, and it's literally always trans. The fact Jack move face right, whatever. I don't know what that person's saying. But I'm going to be real, right? We got to keep it a buck about things. The only reason why I feel like it's... Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate, which I normally don't do. You know, I like to cut right through the bullshit. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here, okay? One, I do know for a fact that you can accidentally like a tweet, right? And remove it. But from what I'm gathering, he didn't like it and remove it. So I also feel like he could have bookmarked it if he was interested in it and not wanting the public to know that he liked it. So I do feel like this might have been an accident. Maybe he might have something with his label that likes particular tweets that have keywords that kind of go back to Chance the Rapper, maybe. I don't know what this tweet would have to do with Chance the Rapper, but that just playing devil's advocate, that is something that could happen. He is still a man with a machine behind him. At the same time, right, this is not the first time that Chance the Rapper has done some real freaky shit online and we just kind of let it slide, like him pissing and sharing that pissing video. We talk about it on this show, on a previous show that I'm gonna put a picture of here, so you can go back and we can talk about it, and you can have a flashback moment. But I think that Chance the Rapper is obviously a little freak, you know, with all this stuff adding up, and then the fact that his wife. Now I always talk about, now we are pro-black, we are pro-woman, we are pro-gay, but I'm a little bit. I understand all three, right, very well. A little bit more of these two, the gay and the black thing, more than a woman thing, because I'm not a woman. But I have been around a lot of black women enough to know that they don't always get along with these two. Like, right, pro-black, pro-woman, pro-gay. So these two tend to kind of bump heads with, right, with women a lot. And especially these two against these two. I mean, or this one. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm just gonna cut the shit. I think that a lot of black women have a lot of issues with the gay community, whether they want to admit it or not. I've talked about this famously on the Beyonce review. I think that they tend to accessorize black people and accessorize gay culture, especially black gay culture, especially the idea I hear frequently, and I've heard this a lot, and gay men, especially black gay men, I want y'all to really tap in with me, and I want y'all to be real. You having a black female friend, there is a lot of times a conversation that is always kind of staticky, right? Where they seem in one motion to be pro-gay, but when it comes to their lives, whether it's their children or their husband, gay is off limits. It's not okay. Gay is not okay, right? It seems as though they tend to not always appreciate gay when it comes to their household and their family and their lives. But it's cool to put a little gay in your ear, you know, and put a little gay around your neck, or put a little gay purse on and carry out and post it on your little videos and have a gay doing your makeup and all this, that, and the third is cute, right? They accessorize you, but the notion of their husband being interested in that gay man is out of the window. The idea that their son of growing up being gay is a no-go, right? Am I right? Leave a comment below if you feel me. Leave a comment below. That is a real thing. Gay women, black women, women in general, because I found this to be with white women as well. White women become very combative towards gay people. But I find it more disheartening because of black women. You would think as much as we support them that they would support us the same way. It takes a very secure black woman to 110% support their husband being bisexual, trisexual, honey, you know, or their son being gay or bisexual. It takes a very secure black woman, and I don't know too. I think it's just my mama, but I don't even really know how she feels about it. You know, we don't talk about it because I know it's a touchy situation for black women, and I think it's rooted in self-esteem. And I feel like that's why she spoke out and why she was so crass and abrasive to the commenters about this particular subject. I don't feel like I felt like if it was a real accident, she would not even address it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel as though it's it cannot be a thing in her mind that her husband might want to dick up his butt, right? Or fuck an ass that has a dick attached to it. It's a no-go for her. This is probably not her first go-around finding something like this in her personal life, but the devil is trying him, or these bots, or these people online, and these bitches, or maybe he did not know that this girl was trans, but it's always an excuse. And I feel like women as a whole need to understand that niggas be gay, okay? You know, like my favorite Instagram account, like niggas be gay, okay? And there's nothing that, it doesn't mean that they don't love you anymore. It's just that they have a wide preference. It doesn't, just like you, women can go and experiment and have long relationships with women who you've had sexual encounters with. The same thing can happen to a man. A man is not above that. Or they're flesh and bone just like you. They want to experiment. They have different types of infatuations and thoughts, or like needs. You think back to the Greek, the days in where the Romans and all those people, that's real life. Biblically speaking, men are attracted to other men. I feel like because of women not being able to wrap their brain around that and understand that the man that they're sleeping with could probably break up with them and go and have a happy life with a male, or might be sexually more attracted to men. They just like the concept and idea and the security in being with a woman. Because that's like what y'all beat in us at a young age. It's kind of like women tend to have a lot of, whether we want to admit it or not, especially black, I can speak about black women, they tend to have a lot of influence on the men around them, whether they are gay or straight. So black women tend to make it really hard for gay children, right? So they therefore beat the gay out of them, and they grow into these adults who are out here with choices and decisions to make, and they're able to make them. But then you get your black wife who is making it harder for you to experiment and to be honest about the things that you like, or the things that you find stimulating, or that turn you on, or things that you might want to go and experience. They make it harder for you. So you continue to live in secret, or you tend to do risky things like accidentally tweeting or accidentally liking a tweet. And you don't really you're not able to really express yourself and be able to go out there and find out truly. I mean, bitch, how do you know your nigga don't like dick or ass? Like, how do you know that when they never tried it? Or you never gave them a free space to do it, or an honest conversation with them, where if you truly love that nigga, you will love him if he want to dick up in the booty or not. Like, it's not, do you get what I'm saying? Leave a comment below if I'm just talking crazy. I think that's going to be the Twitter poll this week. I don't know what I want to say, child. I think I want to ask, do you believe that black women are supportive of the gay community like they should be? Tap in with me on twitter.com/CARMINE DAVIS, Instagram.com/CARMINE DAVIS, Instagram.com/CARMINE DAVIS show. I want to keep the Twitter poll as vague as possible. But I don't think so. I'm gonna be real. I don't feel that way. I feel like black women tend to have, and women in general have a weird relationship with the gay community, but we're talking about black women because she is a black woman, and I happen to know for a fact that, you know, this is a thing and we don't discuss it enough. But again, I am hungry, so we're gonna move on to a harrowing final hot topic from lovebyscott.com. Indianapolis police sergeant indicted for stomping on handcuffed black man's face. All right, an Indianapolis police officer was indicted by a federal grand jury on Tuesday, October the 18th, for assaulting a man in September 2021. So we talk about, I'm gonna be real about this show, we don't just talk about hot topics like celebrities and all those things. We get there. We talk about race, we talk about politics. So I just wanna let you guys know, for new listeners and all that, like, or watchers, we go there, all right? We most famously went there with my FUBU saga, where I talked about the Black Lives Matter movement and shadowed my own story and what I was doing during those times. So go back and listen to those. It's my favorite segment that I've ever done on this show, and the one that I'm most proud of. So, but let's continue with the hot topic. The grand jury indicted Sergeant Eric Huxley, 44, on one count of deprivation of rights under color of law. The U.S. Attorney's Office said in a statement Wednesday that Huxley was charged, or Hewley, I don't know how you pronounce it, excuse me, charged with violating the civil rights of an arrestee by using excessive force. The charge alleges that Huxley struck a person in the head and face, causing injury while that person was handcuffed in September 2021, and that Huxley did so without legal justification. The federal charge contains no information about Huxley's alleged victims, identified last year as Jermaine Vaughn, but Huxley was suspended without pay last year after body camera footage released by police showed him using excessive force against the man during the downtown Indianapolis arrest. Police Chief Randall Taylor recommended last year that Huxley, then a 14-year-old veteran of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, be dismissed. Huxley's attorney, John Kautzman, said in a statement at the time that his client looked forward to proving he did not act illegally or with criminal intent. Over the course of his nearly 15-year career, Sergeant Huxley has been an exemplary police officer. He has never before faced criminal charges or any type of department discipline or excessive force allegations, Coxman or whatever said last year. You can view the graphic body cam in the link in the description box. In the description. I don't know if I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it and give y'all mine. Yeah. Like I said in previous shows, I don't believe that this is going to go away because it's something that is, I believe that people, when I'll call it like I see it, these bitches are racist. But I don't think that people think that racism is an intention, that it's something that you are actively doing. It's subtle. Racism is the fact that when you walk near a black man, you tend to move a little bit more to the left. Like when you're around someone like me, you big black guy, you kind of move, you shift, you tend to bring up more aggressive, you deepen your voice, you tend to talk about more aggressive things. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole attitude shift that you have towards someone because of their outward appearance. That's racist. It's subtle as that. To you beating the shit out of a man who you deem to be a threat because he's black. And of course, who wouldn't resist arrest? You have white men every single day. They could be intoxicated on any kind of drug or anything, and they're going to move. It's your job. You were taught to detain someone for they can have their day in court. It's not your job to make them submit or make them get your get back, or to because you were felt threatened by them to escalate forces. It's not your job. You're supposed to get them there and get them in that cell and make sure that they have their day in court. There are I feel like people are missing there's a bunch of steps that we could do before we start bashing niggas' head in on the concrete. You know what I'm saying? That's why you do have tasers. That's why you do have handcuffs. That's why you never go in something alone, right? You get pulled over on the street, they are calling 4 or 5 motherfucking police officers, right? So this one nigga can, excuse me, but I use the word nigga, so excuse me. But like this one man, black man, you beating the shit out of him is escalating forces when there's 4 of you on one him. The racism in this is that you feel you need 4 people on this one black man, and you still want to escalate forces to keep him down, to beat him down to the point where you feel like he won't want to fight or won't want to be, he can understand that you are the threat. You're the stronger one. When all you really need to do is handcuff this motherfucker and get him in the car, get him in the jail cell and book him. And I feel like even that concept is going over a lot of people's heads, right? Police officers are not military. They're not a form of the military. They're not out to shoot. They're not supposed to shoot and kill. That's not what they're there for. Do you know that? Like, is that a known fact, or is that something that's like, at this point, because we've seen it so much, is that something that's just like not known anymore? The police officers are supposed to bring you to justice, to make sure that justice is carried out. They're not here to shoot them up, bang, bang. When you call a police officer, the intention should not be to catch a body. You get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that now since the movement and that we're being loud about these things, that I guess I'm going to look at the bright side. I guess there is no bright side, but that these men are not going without being checked anymore. You know, a long time ago, they would just move them, you know, or protect them or do what they, you know, make it go away. But I do feel like at the end of the day, this was done to someone. And I feel like, me personally, I stand behind Martin Luther King, but I'm more like Malcolm X. And I feel like justice would be this man and his family being able to beat the shit out of him. And until those things are actually, I don't feel like we'll ever get the justice that we deserve. Until people start to realize that me walking down the street with you is not a threat to you. Bitch, I don't want nothing you got. If you want to come and arrest me, you don't have to use brute force on me because I'm as big as you or bigger than you or blacker than you, or my dialect is not, it's intimidating you. For us to get a force or police or group of people who can understand that justice is blind, right? So no matter what this person looks like, no matter what this person sounds like, no matter how big this person is, no matter how scary the situation is, because you're walking in the hood of a black, like you put us in the motherfucking hood. You know what I'm saying? So because you're in a situation that quote unquote seems scary, that you should still carry out what is your job description. If you don't carry them out, you should be dismissed. But I'm tired of it being at the hands of black people, with blood on your hands, of black blood on your hands. I'm sick of it, especially black men, because I do believe, it's my belief, and I'm proof of it, I do believe that black men are the most sensitive group. The most sensitive group of people in this world. And that's why we are seeing the lashing out, the screaming of black men beating women, beating kids, beating animals, beating themselves, killing themselves, because they're the most sensitive ones, and they are the most targeted, and they're treated like fucking animals. So I hope one day we can train up a force of people who can look past their prejudices and their racism and carry out justice in the correct manner, or we defund them. That's the show. I love y'all so very much. Be safe out there. Peace. God bless y'all.